Today in Canvas Kids, we're going to paint a turtle. This is what it's going to look like when it's finished. So everybody has a paper plate, white paint. So take a small brush, put a little scoop of white paint on your plate. And a little bit of red paint. And mix it up. You don't have to mix it real good. It's okay if it has some streaks. Okay, so we're gonna do that for the turtle back. So take your light red and paint the entire shell of your turtle. If you go over the lines, don't worry. You might want to use a smaller brush around the ends. And then when you get to the middle, you might want to switch to a bigger brush. Try not to leave big clumps of paint though. And try to follow the shape of the shell when you are painting. Okay. Actually, now I'm going to switch to the bigger brush that's flat. If you want yours darker red, you can make it darker red. If you want to make it lighter red, you can make it lighter red. It's up to you. Just do the whole shell, just like that. Then when you're all done, I'm going to take a little bit of white. Take it off the lid there. And I'm going to put a little bit in the middle just to lighten it up a little bit. Okay, just like that. Oops. Use this one next. All right. So now the next step is to paint the starfish. We're going to take the same light red. We're going to add another scoop of white, and we're going to add just a little bit of the light red into the white because we want it even lighter colored. And then go ahead and paint your starfish the lighter color. Don't worry about it too much if you go out of the lines. It'll be fine. Now, if you ever need to stop the video and pause to catch up, go right ahead. Because today I'm going to paint straight through since I don't have my helper to help record it. Okay, so my starfish is all finished. So I'm going to clean off my brush again. Now we're going to do the turtle's flippers and his head. So for that, we're going to use the green. All right, so you can just use it right out of the little cup. You don't have to pour it on the plate if you don't want to. And just go ahead and paint his flippers. Use whatever brush is easiest for you. And if you go over the lines, it's fine. Nobody will know. Not the end of the world. Trickiest part is up where the turtle is. Try really hard not to get the green mixed in with the pink. If you do, it's fine though, don't worry. Okay, this one. This time I'm going to trace it with the paint, and then I'm going to go back and fill it in. Just do whatever technique is easiest for you. All right. Now I'm going to do his head. Like I said, if you want to pause and let the shell dry before you do the head and the flippers, go right ahead. Don't worry about painting over the lines where his eyes are. That's just kind of as a guide anyway. You can go back and just fill in the eyes where you know they should be. If your green is too dark and you want to add a little white to it to lighten it up a little, you could do that too. I think I did on my first one and I forgot to do it on this one. Okay. When you go back and do the blue background, it'll hide your lines if you left them showing when you did the flippers anyway. All right. One more left. Okay, my green is all finished. Now, if you want them a little lighter, you could go through my napkin and while it's wet you can add a little bit of white in it just to lighten it up. Or I think in my instructions I said to make it light green to begin with. But you do what you want. So you just add some highlights to it. See if you have a little light and a little dark. Add some nice highlights and accents to it. Okay. Now while that is drying, you could either stop for a while and give it a chance to dry before you do the background, or you can go ahead and do the background now. It's up to you. So the background is going to be the blue, because the turtle is in the ocean. So I'm just going to take my blue right out of my cup, and I'm just going to paint it on. Got to be careful when you get around the turtle, of course. And try to keep most of your lines going up and down, because it's kind of like he's swimming in the ocean going upward. And we're going to make some lines and bubbles to make it look, to like signify the up, that he's swimming. Now any of the places you accidentally went over the lines, you will cover up with your blue, because your blue is so dark. Nobody will ever see them. Use a smaller brush on the tricky parts like that if you want. It's especially tricky to paint around the starfish because of the shape. Because you're painting the ocean, the water, you don't have to worry about light spots and dark spots, because that's how the water is in the ocean. It's kind of like different colors and different spots. Oops. See, I went over the line a little bit, but it's fine. It's very easy to go over the lines. Okay. I should have switched to the smaller brush, but I did not. Okay. All right. And actually turn it around so I can reach this side a lot better. If you ever need to turn around your canvas, right ahead. Sometimes it's just easier to get certain spots. Okay. This part takes a long time, so like I said, if you need to pause the video, go right ahead. I'm going to cover up where the eyes are painted just because it's too hard to skip around them, but then you know about where they are to go back and put them in. Alright, I'm almost finished with the ocean. Okay, now that my water's all done, actually, I am going to make a little bit of a dark color using the blue and using some green. And I'm just making a darker color. If you have any leftover black at home, you could use black, or you can mix your blue and your green together like I did, and you can make your eyes with that. You might want to let it dry a little first. But you can go ahead and paint your eyes in either with that color that we made, or like I said, if you have a little bit of black at home. Okay. Now for the shell. I'm going to turn this around again. I'm going to probably get all full of paint doing it. Okay. So now we have to make a pattern on his shell. This was what my original one looked like. You can either do something like this, or you can do whatever you would like for the pattern. What I did though to make the color is I took some green and I took some of the red. I'm just going to take this right now and mix it together to make a brown color. That's too light. I'm going to have to add some of the other red. Okay, I'm going to add a little red to that because red and green makes brown. So find a color that you like, and if you want it even darker, you could either use black or you could even add some of this darker color into it and make it even darker. Okay. Now you can make your pattern on your shell. I'm going to switch to a little brush for this. So I'm just going to make the same pattern I did last time, which was this 1 line, 2 lines, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So it's 6-sided, and I did right in the middle, and then I'm going to do right up above it. This time I made them a little bigger though. I'll just do the sides again. Okay, so it's just 6 sides. Like I said, you can do whatever pattern you would like. Now, I'm not going to do the same thing I did last time. I think what I'm going to do instead is just connect it to the end, like that. There we go. I like that one too. Okay. Now with your little bitty brush, we need some dots on our starfish. So you either could use the tiny brush you have, a little brush. You could even use toothpicks. Dip it in your paint and then dip it, just dot it like that a little bit. Our starfish has little dots all over them. We have some bigger, some little, just dot it, little all over. Just like that. All right, now we need some white for our bubbles. So I'm going to take plain white and I'm just going to make some circles, just like that, to look like bubbles that are coming up in the water. Make them wherever you'd like. If the blue is still wet, it's okay, but if you want to wait and let it dry, you can make little ones, you can make big ones. And then you also want to make little waves like this to make it look like it's the water going upward. Little ones, big ones, just make some little wiggly lines. Circles, and all right, and I think our turtle is finished. Look over the other one. Yep, I think we got them all. Oh, you can put some little white dots right in the middle of the eye. If you need it to dry a little bit and wait, you can go ahead and do that. And then don't forget to put your initials on it. All right, our turtle is finished. Thanks for coming.